They will resume tomorrow. Now, whilst all of that was going on the other side of the arena, there was plenty of local support for Leeds man Paul Hunter. He's snooker's fashion leader, and his playing stats look every bit as good as he does. Now tonight, Paul was up against left-hander Mark King from Essex, sometimes striker in the Sunday Leagues for Romford Scorpions, but whose lifelong ambition has been to score a win in a major snooker event like this one. Well, it was 2-2 at their interval in what was another very high-quality match. King took the fifth, and he's at the table now in frame 6. Clive Everton and Dennis Taylor are your commentators.
One.
So this is now a very good chance for Hunter.
Six. Seven.
Just a matter of trying to get the higher valued colours back onto their own spots. Blue and pink back to normal.
13. 14. 20.
If he could get onto the black, it would help the situation. Not imperative that he does, because he's got the pink and blue to work with. But
21.
getting the black back onto its spot, and then he's right in business.
$28. $29.
It's going to be a bit awkward, this. At least he doesn't have to do too much. Just the pink's just distracting him a little bit. Not too bad, though.
35.
There's a good chance that Hunter will win the frame at this visit to the table.
41. $42. 48. 49.
'Very fluent this. They were all in ideal position.
55.
Was that a risky one that
56.
Mark had to go out into the middle pocket? As the result of this. He only needs one chance when he's going well.
62.
Yes, it was a risky shot that King played, but he may have felt that he didn't have much alternative.
63.
Yeah, I think it was the right shot there, Clive. He just misjudged it slightly. As you mentioned, it was a big pocket. Same size as
68.
all the other pockets. We want to say a big pocket because the red was close to it. It in fact made it an easier pocket
69.
to pot into.
$74. 75. 80.
'So with that 80 break,
480
Paul Hunter
and the frame.
levels the match at 3-all.
Yes, for the second time in this match, Hunter draws level. And could it be that he's about to forge ahead now in frame 7? He's got a healthy lead.
Well, he didn't want to cannon the brown because the previous shot he knocked the brown safe. Just as a little bit of insurance. He's only 28 in front, but he purposely put the brown safe, and with that shot he's knocked it into play again. And with hitting the brown has left this chance for Mark. Oh. Oh, that could be costly, the kiss on the blue.
It will probably cost him the frame.
Had he have been behind Paul, he would have played for the red next to the black and potted it, left the black on, but he doesn't have to do. He can win the frame with pinks now.
$8.
King led 3-2. But this is where he goes 4-3 behind, I believe.
14. 15.
'This red and any colour, he'd still play
21.
for the pink, but he's had a quick look at the scoreboard. He knows exactly what he needs.
22.
Pink to secure the frame.
$28. $29.
Which means that King won't be playing for snookers.
$35. 36. $43. 44.
Well, if he takes the pink, he can't get onto the yellow. So the frame's over, but always nice if you could make clearance. But
Paul under 44 on the frame.
Breaks of 32 and 44 from Hunter in that frame. No significant response from King. Hunter leads by 4 frames to 3.
So a big frame coming up for Mark King because he'll desperately want to level the scores here at the end of this opening session. He's at the table.
Hunter's break-off shot forced King into a safety error.
well, it's not a gimme, but he's pretty good at this type of shot.
One.
And if the next shot works out, he could open quite a few of them up. Needs to play it with a little bit of pace. And that looks to be okay. He can get through to the red for the left corner.
8. 9.
You just sense that he's taking control of this match, Clive, because Mark King has played very well this evening, and just indications that Paul's really getting into the groove out there.
16.
He's allowed King to score only 5 points in the last 2 frames. No doubt about it. Hunter is a class act. He seems certain to be a World Championship finalist at the Crucible last spring
24.
when he led Ken Doherty 15-9 going into their final session. Only for Doherty, incredibly, to win 8 frames out of 9. To beat him 17-16.
Yes, I remember being there when that
25.
happened, and he was in a bit of shock, was Paul. He thought it was going to be pretty straightforward, as everybody did, but Ken Doherty just battled away in that match, and at least he's had the summer to get over that, but it certainly was some comeback. But Paul is the sort of player that can cope with that type of thing
32.
anyway. But it was very disappointing for him at the time.
Well, I think he
33.
needed the summer to get over it. It was a real body blow, but he took it very well at the time. It was a brutal, crushing disappointment.
40. 41.
How many reds and how many blacks is that, Clive?
48.
It's 6.
49.
His main concern will be trying to clinch the frame first of all, but he's still on the black.
£25,000 for a 147 maximum,
56.
plus 7,500 for the highest break.
And
57.
Paul's highest tournament break is 141. He made that in the Regal Welsh Open, 2002. So this is a bit of a chance. It's not an easy one.
64.
In the British Open at Brighton earlier this month, Hunter had 14 red blacks.
72.
Missed a tough 15th red down a cushion.
73.
Now, will he try and nudge the one next to the pink, or will he wait for another chance? He's got the angle here. I wonder, does it pot? I don't think it does. I'm surprised he maybe...
80.
If he had to just nudge the red and pink, he would have still have been on the red and still would have been able to hold for the black. So he's going to have to, at some stage, cannon that red that's next to the pink.
81.
Can't do it this time. Oh, this is going to be awkward now. And the crowd's gone very quiet here at the Barbican
88.
Centre in York. They know what's on here. Now, he can free the red next to the pink and possibly get onto the black when potting this. Flick the black. Still a possibility. He can take it to
89.
the middle. Get in there.
"12 reds, 12 blacks."
96.
Now, he needs
97.
to somehow get onto that red that's up between green and blue. If he was to land, he's got a couple of choices, where he's pointing the cue, or if he was to get the white. Just up near the brown, he can pop that red and get back on the black. But he's got to be pinpoint with this next positional shot. That's okay. Still a possibility.
104.
Get in.
105.
Not the best angle though on the black to get on the last red. Had to play it with left of centre
105
striking.
on the frame, Paul Hunter.
No maximum,
Well, Matt. Good luck.
but that break of 105 gives Paul Hunter a 5-3 overnight lead.
It's a
I think one thing at the back of Hunter's mind will be his world semi-final at the Crucible last spring. He led Ken Doherty 15-9 going into the final session, but Doherty won 8 frames out of 9 in that session to beat him 17-16. And it's a terrible feeling when you've got a big lead and gradually it's eroded. And as I said, I think that the initiative is with King.
But we've talked about Paul Hunter in the past, and we
Take your seats as quick as you can, please.
one of his big qualities
The
is
final
his
frame.
temperament.
Mark King to break.
Here we go then. Good length of the cue ball. That red that has been left out so many times for the right corner. But, well, this is not easy. I don't think he's even going to take it on, is he? He is. Got a good white, though.
Hunter missed a couple of balls when he had that big lead of 7-4. One in the next frame, one in the one after. And in fact, from 7-4 to 7-all, he scored only 20 points. And it wasn't as if King was scoring heavily, but he was scoring consistently in bits and pieces.
Yes, there was one stage in the match where Paul hadn't potted the ball for nearly half an hour, and I suppose Mark, if we talked about his highest break was a break of 63, but he's coming good at the right time. He's had breaks of 57, 40 and 52 in the last 3 frames.
King's already won 198 in this UK Championship. David Gray, the world number 12, 9-8, before the cameras came here.
And he didn't get the white on the cushion as he intended, and it's amazing the number of final frames where the balls go up the other end of the table. 2 reds up there, so it's going to be one of those funny old frames. There's a possible pot on here, though. I think he had a little bit of safety in mind also.
Didn't expect to pot it. If it had dropped in, all he could have done was to have rolled to the black.
Now this is not easy because the ball tends to bounce when you've got the butt of the cue in the air that high. We've got 4 reds up the other end of the table, so it's all going to get very tense. That's a good shot. I don't think he can play the shot that he played previously. Although he's not tight on the cushion, he can't really get the white back this time. Touching ball would be nice for Mark here.
Touching ball.
And referee Paul Collier announcing touching ball, so he can just play off the side cushion and back in behind the black, keeping the white as close to the cushion as possible. Now, what's Paul looking at here? Yeah, that last shot that Mark played, Clive, he put himself in trouble there, didn't he?
Didn't get the cue ball close enough to the cushion.
Bless you.
How far up is the red coming? There just might be a little bit of value in taking that red that can back up the table, because he could get onto the black and he might not leave a great deal. It's a bit of a risk, but that's what he's thinking about. See where he's got the tip of his cue? He's thinking if I left the white there, would I leave anything if I had to go at this long red? But he's going for the one not to the middle pocket. He's not.
Safety was the priority there.
Now, what have we got? 3, 5, 7 reds up the other end of the table at the moment. There's another one, 8, but I think, well, I was just about to say I think that Paul can get through to the red up the other end of the table, but he can't. Oh, it's getting tougher to get that white back.
Almost 7 minutes gone in this deciding frame, but you can't say it's dull, because the air is thick with tension and both players jockeying for an opening.
Well, he could see enough of it. I didn't think he could see enough of that red.
1.
Well, what a pot. He decided, I'm going to have a go at this. It was a thin contact, but where the white was made it even more difficult.
Three.
That really was something
4.
special there. Paul knew he couldn't get the white back. He was almost tight in the cushion. Fantastic cueing.
Ten. 11.
The extended bout of safety has spread the reds. Hunter knows there's
16.
a chance to win this deciding frame at this visit.
17.
Well, I think Mark King would have been
22.
rather surprised at the pot that Paul pulled off there. He thought he'd got him in quite a bit
23.
of trouble, and it really was something a bit special, the red that he knocked in.
30.
This is the sign of a true champion, Clive, when the pressure's really on. It's the champions that respond to it.
Yes, and the key is to play this break as he normally would, without thinking too much about the significance of it.
Just let the white run a bit far there. He had a choice of the red to the middle and the one for the
37.
corner. And the fact that the white's gone that little bit further than he intended has made it difficult now for himself. That's where he wanted to be with the previous shot, and he would have had an easy red to the corner or an easy red to the middle. Now it's a bit more difficult. It's a bit of a pressure pot, this one. He didn't fancy that one.
Paul Hunter, 37.
He knew that he should have been on something easier.
But the way he played the shot, he was on the blue and he knew he wasn't going to leave anything easy. This is a chance, but it's not a gimme under these circumstances. He's got to take it on, though. Big shot for Mark King, this. Now, the longer he takes over it, the more difficult it'll become. Missed the previous shot with the rest, and the blues a little bit awkward for the cueing here, just a bit of a distraction when you're playing this shot. That's not perfect.
1.
He knew that he was cannoning into that cluster as well. Another tester.
He's up to it. He's pretty good under pressure. But still not safe by any means yet.
6. Seven.
Now he's a strong favourite. He's made 3 centuries in this match, Clive, and he's missed quite a few shots as well,
14.
so it's been a bit of a mixed bag from Paul Hunter. Mark King, as I said, came on very strong from 7-4 down.
15.
I also think that Hunter lost his concentration a little in those frames. Great recovery it was by King to win 4 frames out of 5 to go from 7-4 down to 8 all.
Guaranteed good position on a red from here. Now, how's the judgment? I think this is a
22.
thin one. He's coming around to have a look at the angle. 59 in front. Needs a very thin snick here. Well, it's not over yet. Oh, has he potted it? Look at this shot. Can you believe it?
23.
Can you believe that? That's as good a trick shot as you'll ever see. Have a look at this. Unbelievable. Incredible, that.
King took it well.
that's made such a difference, you know, because Mark would have had a chance to get back into this frame. Okay, Paul's not on a colour, but that has made such a difference. Pink safe. If he can get another colour safe, what a mountain to climb. He's still got that little smile there. He's a bit of a character, is Mark King. Nice lad. He loves his game of snooker, and when he talked about retiring after the World Championship, I didn't think he really meant it, Clive. He loves the game too much.
Blue ball. Paul Hunter, 23.
Didn't take your advice to put another colour safe, Dennis. Hunter leads by 60, with only 67 on the table.
It really is a mountain to climb, and Paul knows all too well the way the balls are situated here. He just couldn't believe there's any way he could lose this frame now. Just doing a quick calculation, even if Mark could pot 5 reds and 5 blues, he couldn't win. He's got to somehow get a red and get up onto the black, because the pink's out of commission.
King knows that his next mistake would almost certainly be his last of the match.
This could be the end. One good long red. I think it would be match over.
Didn't have to play position, which is why the cue ball has finished where it has. The red alone would have been sufficient to give him the match, barring a snooker.
Let's make your mind up time for Mark King. He's had a look at the red into the middle pocket. He would automatically come up on the black. He's not taking that on. He just felt it was too much a risk. He's played a pretty good shot there, though. Although he's pushed the red safe, he was in a bit of bother there.
It was still match ball, and Hunter has coolly stroked it in.
Oh, what a good pot from tight on the cushion almost. Perfect cueing. One snooker required.
Bramble. Paul Hunter 1.
The brown would have put King to 2 snookers needed.
He's battled well, has Mark. Every credit to him. He was 7-4 down. He was 6-3 down.
And when it was 7-all, he needed 3 snookers to tie in the 15th frame and got 2 of them. That surely is it, though. Can't see Hunter missing this. Paul Hunter has played a sterling deciding frame. Apart from losing position on 37 with his first chance, he's played everything about as well as could be expected in the circumstances.
I think it's the old
5.
word, it's experience, isn't it, Mark? The great player that he is hasn't won the tournaments that Paul has won.
6.
And there's no substitute for experience, Clyde, is there?
Nor for temperament. Disappointing for King.
10.
Gave it his best shot,
11.
but it's going to be Hunter who goes through to the quarterfinals. And let's not forget that he's the highest ranked player
15 frame
left in the
match,
top
Paul
half.
Hunter. Well done,
Great battle then.
Well done.
Paul Hunter beats Mark King by 9 frames to 8.